Hello everybody, this is Danny from Deep South Homestead. Right here today, guys, we're going to take you on a full tour of the gardens here at Deep South Homestead. Many things have changed in the last few months. One being the cool weather crops have came out, and now we're going in with the warm season crops. Here we had the English peas. We took the English peas out. We now have butter peas planted in here because butter peas are a warm weather crop here for Deep South Homestead. And as we notice, they've all come up, they're doing well, so we're excited about that. And as we move across here, we see this is our Cherokee yellow wax beans. Now that's a cool season crop. They have bloomed twice already, and it looks like they're fixing to bloom for a third time, but it's getting to be so much heat. I really don't look for this blooming to do a whole lot, so they'll probably be phasing out over the next couple of weeks, and that part of the garden will be over with. That cool season crop will be gone. And as we transition across, we had our sweet corn here. Our sweet corn is all gone. We have tilled it. Now we came in here and actually planted some popcorn in here, but we had some faulty seed. It did not come up, so we came in and re-tilled it, and we planted one row right here along the edge of a new type of popcorn that we had from Baker's Creek. We're going to try it. It's called Burra Mountain popcorn. We're going to see if it will actually do anything. We don't usually have much success with Baker Creek seeds here, but we're going to try again just to see. And then beside that, I planted two more rows of the Mississippi cream field peas for Miss Wanda. She really likes them. So we're trying to get that up and get it going in the next couple of weeks here. Now as we move across here, this is our gold prize squash from Hoss Tool. Guys, we have harvested so much squash off of these plants here. Ms. Wanda's sick of squash. She doesn't want to see another squash. But these things, I keep them pruned and they are still literally loaded. I'm picking 2 to 3 gallons of squash every day off of these things. And we do have some powdery mildew that's trying to start in them now, which is pretty normal for this time of the year with our humidity and stuff. But we keep the leaves pruned out of them, and they seem like they're enjoying the weather so far. Okay guys, we're standing here beside the gold prize squash. I have a row of the okra here. Now, it's not jumping and going too much because we're basically in the middle of a drought here, to be honest with you. And I haven't watered it, but it's still, we're picking some okra on it almost a daily basis. And matter of fact, what's getting me is how small some of the plants are, and the okra is still popping up on it. I harvest okra off and the plants aren't growing, but they're putting on okra. So, I don't know, it's kind of a strange thing. This is a Hoss Tool okra here. This is a jambalaya. But beside it, guys, is where the magic happens at. This is the Celebrity Hybrid Tomatoes. It is a semi-indeterminate. I have watched it. I mean, it is literally, if I move leaves back, it doesn't matter where I go, and I move leaves back, these things are loaded. As we come down through here and look at all these tomatoes, guys, we have more tomatoes here just on this one row here than we actually probably know what to do with. I mean, you would just, it's amazing. I mean, look at some of these tomatoes here. And you don't realize how big they are till I put my hand under them. They're huge, big, beautiful tomatoes. We haven't sprayed anything. We don't believe in doing that if we don't have to, and I mean to tell you, they're almost blemish free all down through here. Just more and more of them. They're literally hanging everywhere. And the thing about it is, the further down this way we go, the better the tomatoes get. That was the worst end that we started on. These things, these celebrity hybrids are just, I'm saying these are probably our best producing tomatoes. I mean, take a look in there at that. Just look at that. That's nothing but just raw tomatoes in there everywhere. I mean literally everywhere. And you come down up under all these plants in here. Look how pretty they are. Guys, I attribute this to a couple of things. One, I'm using Dr. Earth's Bloom and Grow liquid phosphorus on these plants. And I'm using calcium nitrate on these plants. I'm doing it once every 2 weeks. And I want you to just stop and take a look at this one here. Look, I mean, that's how big those tomatoes are. They're just wonderful. And it's not just this row. There is another row behind this row. If you look over the row behind it, they're actually loaded up exactly the same way. There's actually hundreds and hundreds and hundreds. I told Miss Wanda, we probably have over 1,000 tomatoes just in this one garden right here. All right, I wanted to show y'all the celebrity tomatoes. I mean, this is the second row right here. They're loaded just like the first row Miss Wanda just walked down. It has been one of the best celebrity hybrid tomatoes that we have ever come across as far as producing tomatoes. I would encourage anyone, especially in the southern climate like we live in here, if you want to grow a tomato that's very trustworthy and very prolific, these are the ones that I would choose because they taste wonderful and they're very heavy loaders on tomatoes. Okay, this is our second part of our front garden here. We came in and dug all of our potatoes up out of here. We've just got it tilled up and it's ready for to be refertilized and to be replanted again. And you see in the background the garlic. The heat here has already killed all the garlic. This is the elephant garlic. We will probably come in here in just a little while and dig some of it up to use fresh around the house and to just have for storage for the rest of the fall and stuff. And then we'll leave the rest of it so that we have plenty to go for next year. Okay, now this is another one of our small gardens that we've just created this year. This is a probably about a 20 by 40 5-foot area here. And this is all white sweet potatoes. This is where we had our Russian fingerlings, our French fingerlings, and our crescent fingerlings at. We took those out and we're doing crop rotation. We're coming in behind those potatoes with sweet potatoes. Now technically, they're two different families of potatoes. One's a nightshade and the other's in the morning glory family. So we're not worried about any kind of problems or anything like that. But we have all white sweet potatoes here and they are looking good. I think that they're going to produce a good crop for us this year. We're actually waiting for the rain to come because as soon as the rain comes, I'm pretty sure that these things, within a week, will probably have this whole thing just about covered up. We're probably going to do one more fertilizing on them, and then after that, we won't touch them again. Okay guys, we're in one of our other gardens here now. This is where we usually plant sweet potatoes at, but this year we decided to go with Danny corn over here. And we kind of had a little mishap when we first planted. I didn't realize it, but my planter leg, my seed part of it got stopped up and I didn't know it. And I'd planted this whole thing, or thought I did, and then when it came up, the corn was very sporadic about how it was planted, and we had to come back and hand plant the rest of it in order to get a decent stand. So you see, it's already up. That's 8 foot. I can reach 8 foot, so it's already at the top of that tassel's already 9. And it ain't even, I mean, it ain't even put the ears on yet, so it's got a ways to go. It's not the best soil here for growing corn. This is good potato growing soil because it's sandy here, but we thought we'd put some corn in it, and you can look down through there and see the corn and tell that it's a good stand. Guys, one of the things we're worried about, we have that storm coming, and we know that if it comes this way, we could lose all of this corn. That's one of the trials that you go through when you plant corn in the Deep South. Now on this side right here, we did come in right above it, and I put one row of sweet potatoes in here. This is a 150-foot long row. We've got the red sweet potatoes here. just because we wanted to make sure we had enough sweet potatoes this year planted here at Deep South Homestead. I just couldn't resist it. I had to take one of the rows and put sweet potatoes in it next to the corn, because really I want to see how it does. I want to see if the sweet potatoes, if the vines grow in over in the corn and actually shade the bottom of the corn in here, and if it helps out. It's just more of an experiment for me, but I want to try it and see here at Deep South Homestead. All right, we're up at one of our other gardens here. This garden is totally sweet potatoes. We have mostly red sweet potatoes here. I think there might be one or two rows of whites, but they're all reds. Guys, it doesn't get any prettier than this. This is probably our pride and joy here at Deep South Homestead, is our sweet potatoes, because we eat an abundance of sweet potatoes. And right now, everything is clean. There's no weeds. There's nothing but just beautiful rows of sweet potatoes here. I think it's going to turn out to be nice. We got them bedded up good and high so that the potatoes can grow. We fertilized them the other day, the last time, throwed the dirt up to them, and they are really growing well now. Okay, we're on the upper part of the garden where the sweet potatoes are now. We've cleaned up our trellises here where we had our English peas over here for the experiment. We haven't replanted anything there yet. It's kind of just sitting dormant. We have a couple of cucumbers that keep making a few cucumbers here and there. But the thing that we're watching the most here is these two rows of the Cherokee yellow wax beans. These two rows, we picked the first two pickings off of them, and then we let the plants go. This is our seed stock for this year. These plants are literally hanging. I mean, if I pull them back, look at that. Look how many beans are just hanging in here everywhere. This is all the way down the row. All of them are like this. This is our seed stock for next year, just in case we can't find any Cherokee yellow wax beans, because we've been looking and we haven't been able to find them. Everybody's sold out, and just in a kind of a panic mode, I told Wanda, I said, we have enough green beans and yellow wax beans canned. I'm gonna leave these for seed, and that's what we've done, guys. And from this right here, I should have more than I'll need for years if they do well. So we're hoping that everything goes well with saving our seed from the Cherokee yellow wax beans. And if we look over beside us here, this was our cold frame this past year. And when I took all the plants out of it, I turned half of the bed into what I raised my sweet potato draws in, and half of it I put in Rutgers Tomatoes. It was a variety I had some seeds on, and I decided I would try them out. And guys, this year the Rutgers have not disappointed me. They are loaded with tomatoes, just like the celebrities. Maybe not quite as heavy as the celebrities, but there is a lot of tomatoes in here. I mean, just everywhere I look is just tomatoes. Look at that. I'm amazed at how well the tomato plants are producing this year. These are the sweet potato draws. Guys, let me tell you something. This is a 4 foot by 4 foot bed. This is a 4 foot by 4 foot. This is white. This is red. Out of these two beds, I have harvested now close to 1,000 sweet potato draws out of this, and there's probably still 100 left here that I don't even need now. So it goes to prove, if you want to raise your slips, put them in the ground, because that's the way it's intended to be. This thing of putting them in jars, don't do that. That's just a waste of your time. Put them in the dirt and you'll not be disappointed. All right, guys, now I'm in the sugarcane patch. We have more sugarcane this year, I think, than we have ever grown before. This is the perfect location for the sugarcane. It is just, I mean, I don't know, I'll have plenty this year. If nothing happens, we'll be able to make a pile of syrup. We probably have some to sell. This patch, it looks like it's going to be the patch of sugarcane this year. If something doesn't come in here and damage it in some way, it's the best I think I've ever grown. All right, guys, this is not really one of our gardens, but we did, keeping with tradition, We took a Cherokee tan, we took two small plants and brought them over here and put them next to a trash pile like the Native Americans did. And this thing has really taken off. Hadn't been really fertilized or anything, but look at it. It's just growing wild. It's got a couple of good Cherokee tans started on it now. And it has been blooming. Now it's been doing a lot of male blooms on it, but that's normal because a lot of your plants put on a lot of male blooms to begin with to draw the pollinators so that they'll come and pollinate the female blooms once they begin to get the female blooms on them. The pollinators will already be used to coming. All right, we're at our final garden over here by the cabin. This is a cabin garden, and we don't spend a lot of time in this garden, but this is a garden for the cabin. Ms. Wanda's been actively eating some asparagus from over here because it's been producing some asparagus. She's been harvesting some Swiss chard here, eating on it kind of on a regular basis. And she has some pepper plants in here. We've been harvesting the peppernichis off of it. All right, Ms. Wanda just finished harvesting the peppernichis. Now here's what they look like. They're just a little small pepper. They get a little bit bigger than this, about the size of a jalapeno. But they're not hot. They're very mild pepper, very good tasting pepper. She's got several of them growing right here in a row. Then she has her Cayenne chili peppers here, and we're letting them go. Several of them on there, gonna let them turn red. One down here is not far from turning. We've got another one here, another one here. And then she's got some bell peppers growing right here. These have looking really good. I just phosphorused them here the other day, so they're looking pretty good. And guys, we have some Irish potatoes that's just come up in here rogue from when we grew our own Deep South Irish potatoes here. Some of them got left in the soil, so we're just leaving them. That's one reason we're not cutting a lot of the weeds out of here. And then we have, like I mentioned, we have our one zucchini plant over here. And it has a zucchini on it. Look at that.
Long zucchini.
It's got a long zucchini on it. Probably another day I'll harvest it. I see several more coming on in there, so that's good. And then we have more peppers here. These probably look like a jalapeno here the way they're growing. We're excited about that. And then we have some of Ms. Wanda's tomatoes here that she's got planted. Look at these things. Look at the color of these plants. This garden's really doing good as far as the color. I mean, they are almost, they're so dark green. That liquid phosphorus has really done a job on these tomatoes as far as kicking them up and making them darken up. That and the calcium nitrate I've been putting to them. Look at these beautiful tomatoes. I mean, they're just beautiful in there. I think we're going to be very pleased with these. You come along. This is what you have to watch for, guys. Look at this. See that right there? Tomato hornworm. I was here yesterday and there was no worm on this plant. Today, this big boy has been enjoying himself on the plant. But it is for the last time because he now has to go. And then we have the patty pan squash. This is a the Benning's green tint patty pan squash here. We've got several of them growing right through here just as an experiment to see how they're going to do here. And it seems like they're doing pretty decent. Got a little fertilizing to do to them to kind of kick them off and get them growing really well. And then we have our Egyptian walking onions. We have a row of them right through here. They've about run their course for the spring. They'll be dying back here now. We'll be going along getting some of them out. These are the Tai Chi Tomatoes here. Ms. Wanda's got growing here, and I think there's a Bella Rosa plant or two on the end down here. And then we have more bell peppers growing right here. They're finally getting a little size to them. It finally warmed up enough that they can grow and make a pepper. You look at the beauty of these tomatoes here. If I can get it out of there. This tomato, the color goes all the way to the center of it. That's one thing we like about these tomatoes. The color goes all the way to the heart from the outside. It ripens evenly all the way through. The Bella Rosa is really good about that. Guys, this kind of finalizes our garden tour here at Deep South Homestead. I hope you enjoyed seeing all the different gardens we have, what they produce, how we rotate our crops around in them. If you watch our videos on a regular basis, you will see what we had planted in those original areas in previous videos and what we've amended it with and what we've actually came in and put in later as a second crop. This has been a tour that we've been wanting to do for quite some time to show you all of our gardens and what we have growing in them and what's actually producing. We don't only show you what we do, we show you what we produce here at Deep South Homestead. Thank you guys from Deep South Homestead.